brother Metamorphosis, aka Neil Frazier, or Neil Frazier, aka Metamorphosis, one and the same.
One and the same.
Before you slice it, he's a brilliant, dedicated brother who, in a week's time, garners enough research that would take other people, a mere mortal like me, 6 months to get. So I'm very interested to hear what you have to say. And this is why we had to make the banner that we made. You have a powerful topic, so I had to make a powerful banner.
I'd hate to be caught in a dark alley at night with those brothers. What? Oh yeah, they're ready to put in some serious work.
For real. Look, the second one from the left. That's the one that got me.
Oh man. You know, he reminds me of when they used to do what is it? I can't even think of the name of the show, but they used
Good
to
Times. John Amos.
Huh?
Him,
but also Star Trek when they ran across the Klingons.
Yeah.
That brother had that face, that hard face.
Yeah.
And boy,
very convincing.
And look at the one that looked like what's the Shaka Zulu? Right there, the third one that's standing out.
Right. Well, these are beautiful images.
If I was white folks, I'd be scared too, because they look like they're ready to do something.
Brad, why is he looking at us like this, Brad? I don't know, Karen. Karen ain't gonna pull a fast on any one of these brothers. She knows not to play with them.
Oh no, that'd be a big mistake. But anyway, brother, it's always good to be with you on Monday, man. As I was telling you, it's getting a little cool in Cali, but this time of year. But you know, it's all good. The earth is getting cleaned out. The atmosphere.
Yes. It seems like December and January and all those months of the cold over there in the north of America, it's even hotter over here. And I love it.
Yeah.
It's even hotter over here. And we're in the dry season right now. So there's not going to be any rain until probably late March, early April.
Oh, okay.
Yes, like that sometime. But it's okay because at night, most of the mosquitoes are gone now. There's no moisture. There's no humidity. Right?
Oh, okay.
On the balcony, I can lay out there in my shorts and not have to worry about anything biting me. You know, it's a beautiful time. Oh,
yeah, those mosquitoes are a problem. And you don't know what they're carrying.
Say it again?
And you don't know what they're carrying.
Well, yeah. It's for some reason, it's like when I first had the malaria in 2019 and came back and almost lost my life.
Yeah.
I was determined to come back. And I think I caught it twice, but they have over-the-counter substances that you can take that knock it out really quick. But it's a certain feeling that you get. And you never get that feeling. And when you get that feeling, this feels like malaria coming on. And there are 6 tablets, and it's nothing like really artificial, it's just some strong stuff. And you take 2 a day, 8 hours apart. And by the end of the second day, you don't feel that feeling. It knocks it out. When you let it stay in you and you ignore that feeling, it gets worse and worse and worse, and it's harder to get rid of. And this is how people who they just get it and they don't know and they die. But many people here, from what I see, have built a resistance too. They don't talk about that part. Just a quick thing in the news. Bill Gates is electing to send so much, like $1 million, or I don't know, I forgot how much, but malaria vaccine. Why is he being so nice? He's not trying to be nice, and Ghana approved of it. I don't want no part of that. And I gotta watch how I say it because YouTube, when you say things against certain things, so I said it in a coded way. But go ahead, brother.
No, I mean, it's just it doesn't matter really what they do in terms of this censoring or what have you, because they're not going to be, and this is what our subject is about today, and I'll just go into it. Again, brother, always glad to be with you on Mondays. I want to greet everybody under the sound of my voice. And 2025 is
Tell me
going
about
to be, yeah, it's going to be a year of revelation that is beyond anything that we've seen before. But what's interesting about this is based on our ancestors and the helical rising, it's actually a year 6,264, which comes to 18 when added up, 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 4. And then when you add 1 plus 8, that equals 9. So we know that something big is coming because the number 9 is represented for that year. Even with the 2025, it's 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. So here we have, again, celestial language telling us what's on the horizon. And some people may ask where I got that figure from. So ever since our people started really mapping out the stars, and we lived according to the helical rising, okay, which is over 6,000 years ago. So this calendar is really based on something else. It's, you know, it's time that was, you know, divided and then, you know, counted down and then started counting up again, which
right.
is really crazy. But nonetheless, today, this is a very important topic because the consciousness wars that are going to take place in 2025 is going to take us to a different type of warfare than we have known. One of the things that's going to happen, and it's so funny, I always laugh at this, how they take words and give them character traits. And they do this as a part of what they've always done to Black people or some people, is to label you to make you feel inferior. When this is really a low vibratory 90%, 90-degree way of functioning and seeing the world, because I have to make someone inferior in order for me to feel superior. It's a big difference between the reality of that and then creating that, or creating the circumstances to bring that out. But so the thing that, because they are not connected to natural celestial language, then these words, they give labels, and you know, they get the coons to repeat this as well. So everything that they want to put a negative connotation on, they put all these words together and create some type of jargon for that word. You know, it's an elementary way of doing things, but it has been very effective. But also in these consciousness wars, it's going to be the return of the Black gods. And again, like we did during our spiritual awakening, we always look at things from a physical perspective first, because that's the way we were taught, okay, and indoctrinated. But the consciousness wars, there's a blueprint in the cosmos that's already there. So what you see now, this is why you have certain people who have this knowledge, because they have been meeting for the last, I guess now, maybe 62 years. When I first became aware of this, they had been meeting for like 45 years up to that point. But there are people from all walks of life that they meet and they discuss melanin. Okay, so When you look at consciousness wars, you're looking at the psychological impact and warfare that's going on from whatever is being uploaded to you. Brother, do you have that picture that I sent you, the same one we used before with Earth, Wind, and Fire? If you're still there. Oh, that's right. You did say you were stepping away for a few minutes. But when we look at, so the veil now have been lifted off of our people's eyes. And so when we look at this warfare, this consciousness warfare, we have to look at downloads versus uploads. And we're finally going to see the defeat of this system that has been a psychological warfare against our people from day one. I don't know, 465 years or 45 years, however whatever years you want to include. But we know that this has been a blueprint that has been followed here on earth, that has been established against our people in order for this vicious diabolical plan to be set into motion. Okay, so let's talk about how that happens. We know that constantly there is an influx of uploads from all different sources on any device you have. Okay, and the majority of these uploads come from a particular mindset, okay, that is established, that you are constantly being indoctrinated with, constantly. And this warfare is taking place in the consciousness. Okay, so one of the things that is happening now, and why I'm talking about the return of the black gods, is because that is the consciousness, the original consciousness of the cosmos and here on the planet. So this is why you'll begin to see all this tension, this electromagnetic energy, this tension, when the weapons that are thrown at you are things that come from something that was taken. So that means that it doesn't have its original power, because it doesn't belong to the people who are now using it against the people that it belonged to. And this is the foundation, I believe, of what we know as sorcery. When you use things to manipulate people and make things, I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm actually speaking about. So keeping in mind that we're talking about now psychological warfare on a conscious and subconscious level, because the majority of our archetypes have come from what we've been taught. Okay, and none of those archetypes are favorable towards our people. So this is one of the things that I wanted to point out to kind of give a little credence to what I'm saying. So Christmas celebrates love and peace, right? But Juneteenth celebrates pain and suffering, or the poverty consciousness. Okay, so I'm going to read that again, because this is very important. And when I was meditating on this last night and thinking about the consciousness wars, this is part of this game plan to always make our people inferior, even when we think that we are celebrating something that is going to have a uplifting psychological effect on us. This is something they don't talk about, that this is the time of year where there's the highest rate of suicide. Okay. But yet, Christmas is viewed as peace, as a time of peace and love and goodwill towards man, correct? And that particular, this particular holiday and season, we know was created, okay? And it was not created by our people, okay? So it's held up as something that we should celebrate because, again, we're given these character traits like love and peace when we see the manifestation that is exactly opposite of what we're being told. But the flip side of this that I saw that I didn't see before is we're celebrating a period of pain and suffering, of unimaginable inhumanity. And this is something that's down in our archetypes, in our subconscious, when at the same time they're making it conscious in all of their books and everything that, so at the end of the day, this is something that is outside our realm of awareness that has a major impact on our hypothalamus gland and why they are trying to have get us to have emotional breakdowns. But this is going to backfire because we have the strongest ability to withstand the energy that's coming from either the cosmos or here on the planet, because we have collectively as a people and as individuals withstood this. But you can also see, and we talked about this in one of the videos, Lance, where you see a lot of the anguish that exists with our young people. There's a reason for that. There's a lot of anguish being, so they're using, oh, I know this is what I wanted to say. Thank you, Dr. Kojo. That, so there was, they have been fighting this war for a very long time without your knowledge. Okay, I won't say, well, there are a lot of people that are knowledgeable about this particular battle, this war, and the little battles that we have fought over the millennia, is that they have found a way to attack the ionosphere through the heart machine. So while it's true that they have ripped the fiber in the universe, there is also several things going on at the same time, where they're trying to block the sun, and they are trying to, not trying, they have, affected the ionosphere. But that's also going to backfire, because that is what really prevents, radiation from just being full bolt on the planet, just, being unchecked. And the last thing is, people are trying to find ways to get out of lower Earth orbit, because no one has ever been through the Van Allen belt. I don't care what nobody tell you. If you put a rat in a microwave for 2 minutes, you're going to find out that radiation is going to make it explode. So what make you think a blood and flesh, I know a lot of us like to think of ourselves as spirits, but you're not going through the Van Allen belt, trust and believe. So there is no escape from the hell that you have created. And so that's why you see this John Wayne mentality emerging itself again, because this power, once they erode your psychological defenses and make you weak by taking away everything from you, or the perception of taking everything away from you, and then verbally chastising you as if you are the cause of it. Then now we see this technology that's going to backfire in 2025. So I wanted to point that out, that, you know, these are things we don't think about, but they do affect us at a subconscious level because, again, and the same thing they do to children, and when they indoctrinate them, rather than talking about the great accomplishments of our great inventors and the great contributions of Black people throughout the 4.5 centuries we've been here. Instead of focusing on that, our biggest celebration is Juneteenth. Okay, now I don't have anything. I know how people get twisted sometimes with things. I don't have anything against celebrating Juneteenth. I'm only pointing out that in the consciousness wars, they make you remember your pain and suffering, while at the same time, they're edifying, you know, whatever holiday they have created in order for you. I don't care who they tell you they're celebrating this holiday for. It's to keep you psychologically in an inferior position. Okay, so we see this about Christmas. Also, I keep going back to this word because for some reason, lately I've been hearing people use it, and it's such a juvenile type of, you know, and when you look at the word woke, that means that at some point you awakened, you must have been asleep. So no matter what kind of negative traits you attach to it, but again, see, this is the problem with the English language. It's a bastard language because you can use synonyms, antonyms, and homonyms to change the whole trajectory of whatever content you're trying to use. So our people don't get emotional about these words that these deceivers use, because these childish games right now, moving into 2025, not only are they going to be exposed, but they have lost their power, because we're not going to give them any power, any value anymore. And actually, this is the language of low vibration, or a caterpillar mentality. Okay. And this is why they made the fact that your awareness is a negative trait. So I noticed they try to lump all of the things that they're psychologically against, that empowers Black people. They always want to put some kind of negative tag on it. And see, these juvenile games, they're not going to have the same power as what I'm saying in 2025. This is why, and that's because the return of the Black gods is a consciousness as well. Okay. So this is why it's not just a physical or even a spiritual thing. So we talked about how melanin allows us to function outside of the normal synapses of the brain. And then when you look at the universe, we talked about how the numbers 3, 6, and 9 are outside this binary code of 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. Not saying that these numbers are powerful in themselves. Okay. See, this is another thing. We've always been taught that there's only one way of looking at truth. That is a 90-degree dogmatic way of thinking that keeps our people from progressing, or keeps American society from progressing, actually. Now, this return of the gods actually coincides with the release of the Netaru, or the God consciousness, the 963 hertz vibration. Okay. This is what we mean when we come, because the Netaru are in every aspect of nature. This is what our people have always believed, where they demonized it, talking about we were worshiping, pagan worship. When in actuality, the real pagan worship is what they taught our people. That is the real pagan worship. Okay, but this release of this God consciousness and this consciousness wars is going to crush. So they, AI is their final defense, but what they don't realize is AI is dependent on the electromagnetic spectrum that we have the most powerful connection with. This is where they miscalculated. It's almost like, so one of the other things that they're going to try to control, and I saw this in the solar business, the Western grid, and then the Texas grid, the other, and the Northern grid, they're going to try to do something where they have the utility bills here off the charts. I know in other areas of the country that these utility bills are off the chart. But they're going to try to use all of this to break down the barriers of our people, to break down our strength. And this is why the return of the Black gods, or the Black God consciousness, is now going to respond to this. Okay. Now, it's also an attack on the, as I was saying, the electromagnetic spectrum and the ionosphere. But what's going to happen in 2025 is, see, things happen for a reason, okay? So all of the things that's happening in all areas of human activity, whether it's economics, politics, religion, education, social, financial, whatever area where something is going on, okay, our people now, the blinders are off. Okay, so now that we're woke, which really have them angry, we're able to, look at it and say, okay, well, I ain't going for that okie doke again. I've seen that one. And then I've seen what you've done, where you've put people from a whole nother country into the Black community, knowing that this was going to start a natural, survival of the fittest that's built into nature in the animal kingdom. So you created a jungle, but you still want people to do this. But again, in the way I look at it, that this is good for our people, because we have to come from under the lies, okay? We have to come from under thinking that something is going to fall out of the sky that's going to change everything. We already know that this vortex has been opened. The question is, what are we going to do about it? That's the real question. But one of the things too that's going to happen in 2025 now, with all of these hits that are coming at us, it's going to cause us to reclaim our free will from the deceivers. And also you're going to remember who you are. See, you're being forced to do that now. Little by little, you're being forced. And then they're also giving other people their nigger card. So all of this is happening at the same time. And, I'm very happy for our people because, our people take a lot. And I know a lot of times, me included, I could be kind of hard about some of the things that's going on. But rest and assure that the power that's coming to deal with this level of evil that we have been under is unmatched. And I'm going to tell you why it's unmatched and why you're going to reclaim. Because the Netaru represent fire, air, and water. Okay. And this is the black God consciousness that's returning. And this is nature's consciousness. It's a natural karma that is built into the celestial timeline. And I remember James Baldwin's great work, The Fire Next Time. So we know that there are things that that have been done, in the dark, where people smile in our face, and this is all a part of the battle against melanin, which is really the emergence of the God molecule, chemical, or fluid, whatever you want to, because it exists in all three states of matter. Okay, solid, liquid, and gas. And so there are several things that we have to look at as well. That 2024 was like a launching pad for this. And again, we look at suffering sometimes the wrong way. And we're taught that way for a purpose. But without the law of relativity or divine testing, you can't really, let me put it another way. When you look at the things that the resources that are in the bowel of the earth that has the greatest significance to us, gold, oil, diamonds, okay, they are, even a pearl you have to find in the ocean in the mouth of a clam. So all of this natural wisdom and knowledge has always been here for us. And now we must go back to our helical rising, okay, where, and the definition of a helical rising, and how I always say that our people observed the stars and wrote down these concepts, like the Dogon and Benjamin Banneker, real astronomers, where a helical rising is when the annual appearance of a star or a planet that appears at dawn every year. For 6,000 years, our people was aware, well, for longer than that, but I mean, as far as the calendar itself, the construction of one. So these are things that we're going to remember, because this consciousness war is going to extend itself into the year 2025 because of the powerful root number of the universe, the number 9. And it's going to be quite, I know that they're, they have a lot of weapons pointed towards our people, and they are trying to frighten our people and use fear as but we've always survived. We've always survived. The thing is you wonder how you could have Well, again, you can look at polarity and polarity wars to know positive and negative. This is why I always say you have a natural enemy, because the polarity of the planet and the universe is, positive, negative. And if you don't believe that, get a battery. I don't care how strong the positive wire is. If you don't have a ground wire or negative ground, that battery is not going to start. Okay. So we know this. However, the things that we continue to hope for, while other people are working together and generating this or manifesting this, however you want to say it, is the final thing I'm going to say about this consciousness, or these consciousness wars or battles we're fighting, is that the one, and I thought about this long and hard, the one thing that we must eliminate going into next year, and then I'm going to give you some examples so you'll comprehend fully what I am saying. We have to eliminate the value we put on materialism as opposed to our brothers and sisters. And I want you to hear me very closely. Because somebody is not wearing a Gucci, a Rolex watch, or riding in a Lamborghini, we cannot and we have to teach our children this as well. Okay, we have to restore our humanity, because obviously those who you have followed have have taken away our humanity to a certain degree. Not all of it. But now, based on the law of action, if you don't do anything, you're going to get steamrolled. Okay, that's the law of thermodynamics. That a force will continue to move forward unless it has some force that's going to stop it, or at least change its course. And I'm saying to you today, okay, materialism has its value, but it cannot be the dominant value that we operate off of as a people, which we have. Because where have that gotten us? And I know that we're taught, see, one of the reasons you're taught this individualism, which they really don't practice, they just teach it to you. Well, I got mine and that nigga ain't got, I don't want him or her to have this or blah, blah. You know why you were taught that? Because it is impossible, even in any type of situation where you're looking at growth and development, without other factors or elements being involved in that growth and development process. The universe teaches us that, and right here on the planet. You have to have several factors involved for something to germinate and manifest. So while they're telling you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and you're sitting up in your place and you're thinking to yourself, well, I got mine, let that nigga get his. Those same people that you are looking at and talking that way and how you've been taught is your only hope, and only hope for you, your loved ones to survive moving forward. And when I say the only one, what I mean is the only ones that can really help you build something and grow. And you don't have to, this stuff you've been taught, you don't have to, agree with everything. That's some 90-degree thinking. But whatever you can come together and do, as long as both of you are benefiting from it, it's good. We have to start thinking this way, because that's how everybody else thinks. That's why we're being left behind. You cannot negotiate individually in America without negotiating from a position of power to get anything in this country. I don't care what nobody tell you. I don't care how many master classes you go to. When you get the fiat, you still have to be able to compound it with other like-minded people, and that's where you're blocked. Because when you get right down to this, okay, and what we're talking about today, this consciousness wars, you're naturally being blocked by others because of this dynamic that you're unaware of. So, you know, I believe that those of us who want to now reclaim, you know, our free will, reclaim, you know, the fact that we have a right to interpret lives, you know, or our lives the way that we see it, and to also critique things that are not in our best interest. And see, here's the other thing. This is a reason why they censor things so much, is because, you know, not only do you take the resources and people's ability to earn, you know, a decent wage, but you also take away anything that will give them the power to build it on their own, or even assist them in this matter, even when you're in their communities, or even when they are in our communities, taking everything out and not putting anything back in. And so the good thing is, again, that even though they have, like chess, where you have removed some of the power pieces from us, we still have the highest potential of conscious connections. So what I'm saying to our people is, and this is one of the good things about, one of the good things, if I can point out, there are a few things, but about being able to connect with each other, you know, on this level. But we could also establish our communities through our group consciousness, because very soon everything is going digital anyway. Okay, so we got a lot to unravel for 2025. I wish the best for everybody under the sound of my voice. And remember who you guys are, who we are. There is no power greater than what you have inside of you. Be proud of who you are, the father and mother of mankind. Okay, be proud of that. Wear that badge proudly. No matter what no one says, our people have earned their stripes. Okay, and I got real Murray for you, for my brother Lance Scurv and Mrs. Scurv. All of you guys, there in the chat room, I know some names like Reese and Gina, Diane, Landon, Indigo King. I hate this because, let's see, Tracy J, Ronan, I think I've covered the heavy hitters. And you guys stay connected to Brother Lance and Lily Fire. They hold something that has been lost in our community, that sense of bonding. Okay, and this is something else we got to get back to, you know, because we see ultimately what they do to our people who they have given this fiat to, and they have gone on the mountaintop and bow down, and then they shame them before the world and take everything away from them. Now, I'm not saying that, like the old adage, you reap what you sow. So if you have done things to harm other people, then, that's fair karma. My issue is that we all know that the real people behind this are not even being talked about. And that's just like the issue that we have with the immigration situation, where our corporations are the number one benefactor of these people that they pay $5 or $6 an hour that Americans won't work for. But yet they operate outside of immunity, you know what I mean? Outside of, or they have immunity from any type of prosecution, which this is also prosecution, also is going to come out, because when these major corporations start losing money, then they're going to turn on each other. It's just the way it is. So, peace and love to everyone. Be safe out there. Find somebody and hug and give them real Murray. Let them know that our people are stronger than what we have been taught, and that we have to stop attacking each other. Okay. What you need to know is, in a consciousness war, every single thought is a weapon. And more importantly, when that thought is expressed, it becomes like a supersonic weapon. Not only that, the tonality that we use with each other. Why do you have to be, I'm going to say this, okay? I don't care who get mad, okay? There are people from other cultures, white people, Latino people, Asian people. When I see them, they smiling at me. When I see some black people, the first thing I see is a goddamn frown. Okay. This has got to change. Stop seeing each other as the enemy. Okay. This has got to change. There's nothing wrong with you greeting someone, okay, and putting positive energy out. When you are the original ones of this power, and now it's been taken away from you, and you're taught that for you to act like, you ain't got no love or Murray for your brother and sister, is insane. They have you functioning like an animal. Okay. When they're smiling, whenever I go downtown, they're smiling and laughing and drinking wine and having fun, and yeah. When our people are biting each other's heads off, I don't know what for. Well, I do know what for, this fiat and this materialism. What you really should be doing is finding somebody to invest in that look like you, and stop, complain, because we have the power to do it. It's the consumerism rate for other people is higher among our people, where our dollar only circulates 16 hours. We cannot survive that way. So I don't know what to tell you. Just go on the internet and find a black organization or something. Oh, Lance, support him. But we have got to change the way that we look at things. So with that, my brother, I'm going to end the show. And
yes, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Again, much wisdom always. And
there's consciousness wars. Like we're moving into a psychological phase now. We have already fought the physical and the spiritual battle. So they're losing their grip, because a lot of our people are coming, they don't talk about it. A lot of our people are coming from under that sorcery that has been driven into us on the plantations in our genetic memory bank. A lot of people are coming from under that. and they're losing their grip with that. So what's the next best? So they are still hanging our people from trees. Some of that physical terror, right? It still exists today. But now the dynamics that they have brought into America, and why I applaud the African presidents for standing up for, what they're standing up for, is that, and this is one of the things that I know this, that because like I said, I've been forced to talk to people from all cultures now and branching out, and doing different things, is that they don't see the world the way we see it. We live off of what is uploaded in the, oh, can you put that picture up there once? I wanted to do a breakdown of this real quick, and I'm going to end on this. Yeah, thank you, brother. So Earth, Wind, and Fire, my favorite group, Last Days in Time. These brothers were centuries ahead of their time. But the point I was getting ready to make is the first battle in the consciousness wars has to do with uploads versus downloads. Okay. This is why what centers around these, what they call them, lights, and how they control, what gets out to certain pockets of people, right? And so they control this mechanism. But when you're downloading, okay, all the things that are a part of what we were talking about today, that's in our subconscious mind and our genetic memory bank, this is our power. And so you're standing on top of the uploads. Now, but also, and this is the way I interpreted it, because when they did this movie with, I think it was the Terminator, this is how Arnold Schwarzenegger came to the earth and the other Terminator, right? Through this lightning bolt. So they copied that. But the ones that are disconnected from the downloads, and this is my interpretation, is that these are the ones that's going to be absorbed into this system through their uploads. But those of us that are connected to those downloads, the cosmos connection there, then the battles and the wars that we're fighting, the consciousness, they have no earthly power to fight against the cosmos. As long as you're getting the downloads, like the people that are still connected, but the ones that have walked away, now they are at risk. They're vulnerable. Okay, brother. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out because, but I see our people firing back. I see our people firing back like, oh, hell no. You're not just going to say that this time and get away with it. And that's a good thing, because with all the stuff that our ancestors had to go through, and now our people are having to go through, no, that's over with. All right, my brother, well, happy New Year. Really, that really ain't a new year, but we know what we mean.
Exactly.
And keep up the great work, man, and stay strong, which I know you will. Keep the gloves on. Looking forward to some more of your shows, brother. And I'll be in touch with you next Monday, and the same everyone in the chat room.
Most definitely.
Peace and love.
All right. Much love, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. And thank you, everyone, for showing up and coming through. We're right at the precipice of a whole new phase, and I'll be soon proud to show what's been accomplished. And that's all I'll say right now. It's just a wonderful, wonderful phase coming, and right up on it. Give me another week or two, and we're good. Anyway, we're signing off. I'll talk to you later. I'm probably going to have something else to put up tonight. We'll work on that. And life is wonderful. I'm not going to let anything stop my life from being wonderful and prosperous to ascend higher. We all got to think that. Let's come out swinging for the new year, and it's going to be all right. There will be challenges. I just want to say one thing. Not yet. For those of us who are going through things, challenges large and small, understand that's validation of what good is coming to you. Because the satanic negative energies of this plane, they don't go after you when you got nothing going on. Even if you feel like you have nothing going on, you got something coming your way and they want to block it. So when they come at you hard, whatever form it is, it could be not only just people on your job, neighbors, in-laws, family. It could be your own thoughts. You have to fight sometimes from within. And just know when those things come your way hard and you really feel it, it's because those negative forces know that there's something good coming your way. So when I'm fought and challenged and the rug pulled up from under my feet, I'm laughing because I know that those forces are not going to waste time on a loser, that they know I'm a winner. And from what we've been accomplishing recently under wraps, I know it. I know it. And you have to think that. And don't feel bad for thinking that, because people are always going to want you to think lower. Who do you think you are? What do you mean you're a winner? You're not a loser. You weren't put here to be a loser. Trust and believe that. Anyway, much love to you all. Lance Scurv out. I will see you later on tonight. Much love. Peace.
Actually, today I got to meet my friend Lance. Yes, I got to meet my friend Lance. This is my first time meeting him in person, and he's a very kind man, seriously. I do talk with him on phone, on WhatsApp, but I've never got to meet him. But today, he's just extraordinary. He's very, anything you want to know about life, anything you want to know about just him, anything you want to know about life, please. YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media channels, you got to find him there. He's very inspiring. He's very positive. If you want anything positive about life, please subscribe to Landscape. And then every day you got to see different videos, different talks, different topics about life. See you.